Good morning. Welcome to ARIN 42 in Vancouver. I'm John Curran, President and CEO of the American Registry for Internet Numbers, ARIN. I'd like to welcome everyone here. We're going to have a great couple of days and should have some excellent discussions, work on policy, all in all, a good time. So I want to point out that this, our Board of Trustees, under which all this work is done, is actually here. We have, let's see, we have them in the audience everywhere. So Dan Alexander, Paul Anderson, Nancy Carter, myself, Patrick Gilmore, Aaron Hughes, Bill Sandiford, and Rahane Frazier are our Board of Trustees. Rahane Frazier has been appointed for next year. She's an observer right now. And so we're all here this week. Feel free, you'll see we have distinguished red stripes if you want to talk to a board member. Board's responsible for the fiduciary, has fiduciary duty responsible for the mission of ARIN. Make sure it gets done, that we handle the finances, not take on undue risk, make sure we provide the services you want to provide, so worth paying attention to. Our advisory council is here. The ARIN Advisory Council, I'm not going to call all the names, but if you're with the ARIN AC, please stand up. There we go. The ARIN Advisory Council is the one that works on our number registry policy. So they work on the policies that we use in administering the registry. They listen to you, they work on policy proposals. They'll be the ones leading a lot of that discussion. So if you have an issue about how our policies work, find someone standing up, and they're on the ARIN AC. Thank you. We have a number of, we have the NRO Number Council here. The NRO Number Council is the group that works with the other 5 RIRs, 3 per RIR, and they work on global number policy. Global number policy is the policy that's used to get numbers from the IANA to each of the RIRs. So the Number Council is our representatives to a 15-member body that coordinates that process, including Louis Lee, Kevin Bloomberg, I know you're here, Kevin, somewhere, and Jason Schiller. Very good. Thank you.
Small correction.
Oh, go ahead, Louis.
Louis Lee, small correction on that last slide, if you would. The vice chair is Kevin Bloomberg.
Ah, yes. The hat has changed, but not the hat, obviously. Very good. We have a number of RIR colleagues here from APNIC, from LACNIC, and from the RIPE NCC. Welcome our fellow RIR guests. They're here to help coordinate what we do amongst each other. The ARIN management team is here. You'll see us. We have staff badges. Badge says staff. And there's quite a list. Feel free if you have a question about any of the functions that we perform. That's the team that's doing it. Almost our whole management team is here this week. So we're all in the halls. If you have a question, don't hesitate to hunt any of us down. Now, we do bring people here through our fellowship program. And our fellowship program is very important to ARIN. And what it does is it provides an ability to bring new people into the process, become aware of ARIN, what we do, and also bring that information back to their communities. So we actually have fellows from each of the sectors within the region. And in addition, we assign each fellow a mentor. Because rather than just wandering the halls aimlessly, it's good as a new person, for you to have someone to help guide you, answer your questions, explain what's going on. I'd just like to have the fellows stand as I read your name. So from Canada, I might get these wrong. Blaise Abouette, Canada, stand if you're here. From Canada, Andrew Marty Asare, and Adrian Schmidt. If you're a Canadian fellow, stand up. Very nice. Welcome to our meeting. Okay. From the Caribbean, Suzette Burley. Suzette? Yes, back there. Gary Campbell. Thank you, Gary. And Roosevelt Loires. Yes, maybe. Okay. Also from the Caribbean. From the U.S., Austin Merkland. Austin. Alan Shackelford. Alan. Soren Sorensen. I like your name, Soren. Nice name. Ovidio. I am sorry. I apologize. Ovidio Viorica. Yes. Am I close with your name? Close enough. Okay. And also Cesar Oscar Cordero Casilla. Thank you. Our fellows come here. We welcome you all. If you see a fellow, feel free to speak to them. Tell them what you think about ARIN. Now, we have newcomers, total newcomers. How many newcomers do we have, Susan? There's a number, I don't know. 56 newcomers, very good. Our newcomer orientation, we introduced people to ARIN, what it's about, and they get to get an orientation of what's going on. We're now going to do a prize drawing for the newcomers who filled out the survey. They help us refine that. So here it is. I'm going to need someone to come up. Owen DeLong, come on up.
What a surprise.
Beautiful. Yes. Well, I don't have to read it both in English and French, do I? No. Bonjour. The winner of the survey. Thank you for filling out the surveys. Daniel Dent, we will send you a gift certificate. Thank you. Thank you, Owen, for your services in drawing. Wonderful job. Okay. So I'd like to welcome our remote participants. You may not realize it, but this is not the ARIN meeting. This is just a piece of it. We have a number of remote participants who are watching the video, who have access to online chat room. They can ask questions. They can actually participate when we do a show of support. They can participate in those polls. They have access to all the same materials. So when we're running the meeting, recognize it's both you and the remote participants. Okay, emergency procedures. Now this is interesting. I'm going to put this slide up here. If you want to know where the nearest hospital is, pharmacy, urgent care center, those are the addresses and phone numbers. I don't know if we should print those out somewhere, because in an emergency, I'm not going to be standing up here, but...
Is it?
Yes?
It's California.
Well, okay, so some of them are a little far away.
The Shoppers Drug Mart's just up the street.
You
make
have
a
to
right out the hotel.
You have to travel great distances to get good U.S. health care. We'll work on better information in the next version of this. I would ask if you have an emergency, go to the front desk of the hotel. They probably have local information. Sorry about that. Okay, SSID. So we have wireless network. We actually work together with NANOG to get a wireless network running, and the wireless network is named NANOG. That's up and running since the meeting that was earlier this week. We also have a legacy network for those people who can't handle 802.1x, and it's open and it's unencrypted. Feel free. Okay, attendance stats. Our attendance, we have 38 people from the from Canada here. We have 91 from the US, 7 from the Caribbean, 21 from outside the ARIN region, and 29 remote participants. So wonderful distribution. I'd like to thank our sponsors, our network sponsor, TELUS. Big round of applause. We'll actually hear from them very shortly. And our webcast sponsor, Google. All of you at home listening to the webcast, you need to clap for that, okay? That's what's making you able to listen to this. Happy Hour sponsor. For those of you who made the happy hour last night, it was sponsored by Adrex. Round of applause. Thank you for that. And I'd like to say we have a help desk we run during this meeting. If anyone has any questions about their number resources, how to make use of our services, it's in the foyer. Feel free to help yourself. A lot of people end up with questions that, sometimes you just don't know how to handle, or it's awkward to handle over email. There's a great opportunity to clean up any outstanding issues you might have. We also have an election help desk, because we're running an election for our AC and our board and our NRO Number our NRO Number Council appointee. So when you're doing your elections, if you have trouble voting, go hunt them out. We'll talk about that later today. And we have another desk out there, a lot of desks, a lot of our staff out there. This one's very important. We have user testing desk for the new website and ARIN Online. So we are actually changing our user interface after much feedback from the community. We have a prototype of that. We'd like to collect some final feedback. So if you have any questions, feel free, or if you want to see the new one, go there. You can also see it online. We sent out a link. It's previewARIN.net if you want to see the new interface. But you can actually sit down with the user interface experts, walk through some trials with them, and provide them feedback. We want to refine this so we can push it out to you by the end of the year. Make sure everyone has a nice new interface. Okay, turn in your ticket, in your badges. You've got a ticket. Turn in your ticket to claim your ARIN t-shirt with the logo. Very nice, very pretty. Okay, there's an app. There's an app for everything nowadays. We have an app for ARIN 42. Lets you get at the schedule, lets you see what's going down. If you have the old one, you need to delete it and download this one. Okay, so we're gonna have some discussions today, and we want everyone to have productive discussions. So to that end, we moderate the discussion. We make sure that everyone has an opportunity to speak at the microphone. When you speak, speak clearly. If you want to say something, find a microphone so our remote participants can hear you. State your name and affiliation each time so we know who you are. Otherwise, some people have similar sounding voices. If you don't say who you are, we don't know how to actually attribute what we're hearing. It'll end up in the translation log. Okay, please comply with the rules and courtesies in the program. You'll see them in the program. Short version, be polite to others. Let others speak. If you've already spoken, let other people have an opportunity at the mic before you come back. Try to keep focused on the topic and rather than the person. We're trying to make progressive, useful discussions. Okay, here's our agenda. We're gonna have our sponsor tell us up. That'll be wonderful. We're gonna have a regional policy update talking about what's happened in all of the RIRs with respect to their number policy. We'll have the AC docket, the Advisory Council docket report, where the AC comes up and presents what they're working on. We'll be hearing about some of these proposals later, but you don't always hear about every proposal in detail, and so this is an update that covers that. Policy implementation and experience report. So the staff, when we implement the policy, we take footnotes. Things that work well, things that don't work well, questions we might have, things that the community might not realize, notes in how the policy actually ends up being implemented. And so we bring that to you every meeting to help educate you on how the policy's working. We'll have an internet number status report. So we all use these internet numbers, these unique numbers to keep the internet running. There's pools of numbers in each of the RIR, and then the IANA has the unallocated pool. We'll have someone come up and give the number status report. And then we have an IETF reporter who will come up and give the IETF activities report, which is fairly important. The IETF makes protocols, including the ones that created the registries IPv4 and IPv6. When the IETF changes how network protocols work, it changes how we manage numbers, as it turns out. So we have someone who goes to the IETF. Those are short meetings. They only run a week from 7 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night. There's only about 150 working groups. And they try to track the most important developments, bring them to you so you can know what's going on at the IETF at a high level. So that's our morning agenda, and then that's actually what we're going to get done between now and 10:30, if we give you an idea what's coming up, okay? And after the break, after 10:30, we're going to handle some policy discussions, because we have a number of policies that the Advisory Council wants feedback. These are the ones that'll come up. We're going to have 2018-1, interregional transfers. We're going to have 2018-2, clarification of ISP initial allocation and permit numbering, and 2018-3, remove reallocation requirements for residential markets. So, tonight, just a little heads up, there will be a social. The ARIN social is going to be at the Waterview Special Events Space. There's buses leaving at 6:45 and 7 o'clock. It's going to be fun. We'll have games there. Skiing and snowboard simulators, a guided taste of Vancouver microbrews, Canadian delicacies, music from Canadian artists. Wonderful. So that'll be tonight, so I hope to see everyone at the social. So, at the head table, Paul Anderson, Bill Sandiford, Tina Morris, Laith Sawyer. That might be a first, actually. Okay.